Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, I got a new string for you. Frank Von Raglan, our local pro here. I see this guy every other day. He's one of our best pros. He takes care of us here, so we take care of him, right? So he comes in and says, "You got to try this string. It's like the best." And I'm like, yeah, Frank, whatever. And he's like, no, this is the best. I've been using this stuff for about a month and it's great. And I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Never heard of this stuff. I've heard of Ytex, but I'm like, it's an off brand. I don't really care. Everybody's always giving me strings to try. And so he's like, no, here, you can have this. Try it on your racket. So I was like, okay, all right. So I put a thing and I was like, okay, I'll try it. So what's so good about this string, Frank? He said, it's soft. It's a co-poly. It maintains tension very well, he said. And I'm like, I'm a Selenko Confidential guy, right? He's like, it's just like that, but a little softer. So this is after the 15 minutes of break-in time, and I'm liking the string right about now. It's got nice spring. I can kind of go after it a little bit, and I feel the string on the balls on the string nicely. It's very, very comfortable. Uh, it kind of it felt like home. It pretty much felt like home. I was just going after the ball. I could predict where the ball was going. I was, easily feeling the distance that I was going to give it. So yeah, no, I kind of pretty much immediately, got into this string. Here's my review of this Ytex Quadro twist. I'm gonna have you take a look at it real quick. It reminds me of Dunlop Black Widow, but softer. So the break-in time was about 15 minutes. By the time I finished maybe warming up, 5 minutes of hitting, it kind of dropped into queue already. It kind of came into the comfort zone, as I call it. I knew exactly when that happened too. It was like 15 minutes, bam, good. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. Because it was tight for the first 15 minutes and then comfortable. It pocketed. It was a little springy, and it kind of maintained that for a while. I've played with it now about 4 times, and it kind of feels, I don't want to say better each time, but more consistent each time. I love to use that word predictable, and it was very predictable each time. It kind of doesn't really feel like a poly. It feels like a kind of a hybrid in itself. You know how they make those strings that are like a hybrid in itself, half synthetic, half poly, like a NXT Control from Wilson. It was kind of like that. Nice and plush, soft, but held tension pretty well. I've done a little research on this string, and most people, like, from 5 stars to 1 star, a lot of people gave it 5 and 4 stars. Nobody gave it 1 star. And that's very rare, because everybody's got an opinion, as I see. So this is a good string. Okay, I liked it a lot. I don't know how to carry this stuff, but I will make a few calls and see if I can start carrying it. The only downside with this string is it's not fun to string. You know, those of you who string with Black Widow will know this. It kind of has to get strung up like that. So it's not easy to weave and pull because of how it's designed. You know, it's Quadro twist, right? So it's four-sided. That's what the cross section looks like. So it's almost like a square, but rounded off edges and then twisted. So imagine having to do a cross and then pulling that with all the tension on it, right? From the weave is not easy. It's kind of a struggle, those first couple crosses and those last couple crosses, especially those last couple crosses. Look who just walked in, guys. Frankie V, right? Okay, Frankie V, I played with the strings and I actually love it. Now, how did you get into this and what is so good about it in your opinion since you turned me on to it?
It's a great string. Basically, was looking at the USRSA's
Racket Stringers Association.
Racket Stringing Association's recommendations on strings for this year. And notice that basically the Ytex Quadro Twist string was pretty much top rated on almost every single category. So I was really curious about it. Had heard a few things about it in the past. Ordered a couple sets, wanted to try it myself first, and it turned out fantastic. Really soft, great spin, excellent control. Probably the thing that I was most impressed with was tension stability over the course of playing with it. It's been turning out to be one of my favorite strings of all time. Highly recommend it. Ytex Quadro Twist.
Wow, Frankie V. So like what I said, the break-in period was actually about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it kind of got into the comfort zone already. So I'm probably 8 to 10 hours into my racket, and it still feels good. It still feels good. So once it dropped into comfort zone, it kind of stays there. I'm waiting for it to fall off a cliff. When's it going to fall off a cliff?
I've actually had really good success with it. I'm 20 hours in on my racket, and it still feels okay. I'm starting to notice it to die off a little bit, but really much longer than a lot of the competitors, and really even performance all the way through. This is a really great string for people who are contemplating getting into a poly or a co-poly and that are a little bit afraid maybe and worried about maybe hurting their arm. This is an excellent string to try out first because it's going to be really easy on your arm. You can go full bed on it, and if you're not sure about that, it's a great hybrid string as well. I've used it actually as a cross for other polys, and that's actually worked really well also. But for somebody contemplating maybe going to poly, co-poly, and a little bit nervous about it, this works great.
So what about the durability on this?
Durability, I've found was excellent. I think it actually held up better than every other string comparable to this in this class. So, you know, without naming other string companies, I've found that it basically is, I'm going to say at least 30% more durable than pretty much everything out there.
So for all the big hitters out there, the kids, they actually last. This thing lasts, huh?
Yeah, this is and great price point for, you know, a high performance string with great durability, and like I said, tension stability, huge. It's just a really nice way to go on a racket.
Perfect.
Great string.
Ytex Quadro Twist. Check it out. So Ytex Quadro Twist. Great string. Thank you, Frankie Van Ragelen, for giving me this pack. I'm going to see if I can carry it. If you guys have access to this, hey, give it a shot. It's a great string. All right. I was looking at the package. It's made in Germany. You know the quality stuff that comes from there. Dankeschön. All right. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.